Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. Matchroom and Most Valuable Promotions, is that what they're called? MVP, Jake Paul's promotional company. They had an ongoing court dispute, which was taken out initially by Matchroom and Eddie Hearn, but also later followed by Glenn Feldman, the judge, because this followed comments made by Jake Paul regarding Matchroom fighters getting favourable decisions. He didn't just go that far to imply it. He said, no. He said the fix is in. And he mentioned Glenn Feldman explicitly, by name. So he was talking about Feldman scoring the Taylor-Serrano first fight, 97-93 in favour of Taylor, which was the widest of those cards. And then Feldman had a 115-113 card for Joshua against Alexander Usyk, which he said was favourable towards Joshua, who was a Matchroom fighter. So this carried on, and basically, what was it? He said he was talking about Serrano Taylor, the first one. Paul, this is. He said, I think Amanda Serrano won the fight. This was in September 2022. He mentioned this. This was when the interview took place. And then you go see our judge, Glenn Feldman, who had the biggest gap between Taylor and Serrano. Everyone pretty much had it a draw that Amanda won. But then there's this judge, Glenn Feldman, who scored it a big gap for Taylor, gave rounds that Amanda clearly won to Taylor. Usyk had a runaway victory, clearly won the fight. He's talking about Usyk Joshua. Glenn Feldman gave it to Anthony Joshua. It's like a repeated crime here. This type of shit, I'm going to call it out here in boxing because it's bullshit. Clearly, this guy is getting paid money by Matchroom Boxing. So he explicitly said, Glenn Feldman is getting paid by Matchroom to favour Matchroom fighters, So along comes Eddie Hearn and says, hang on a minute, I'm not having this right. So he takes out an action. This was days after this interview, and the company, being Matchroom, sought damages of $100 million, which even by Jake Paul's standards is a lot of money. I still don't know how he made money. Did he play pranks on people on YouTube? I mean, fuck me, I'm in the wrong game if that shit gets you tens of millions or hundreds of millions. Then Paul fired, I should point out, Feldman jumped on board. He said, yeah, you mentioned my name? No. I'm suing you as well. But then Jake Paul filed a counterclaim against Matchroom and Glenn Feldman. And the Taylor-Serrano fight, the second one, happened last summer. Great fight, bit of controversy. Katie accused of being a bit free and easy with her head. Got the decision. A lot of people felt Serrano won that one too. But all three of the judges this time had it 95-94 for Taylor, even though a lot of observers thought that Serrano won. Actually, with some people thought she won by 2 or 3 points. But there is a third fight coming up on July the 11th in Madison Square Garden again. So I suppose it was inevitable that this banging of heads between Matchroom and MVP was going to have to be put to bed before that could happen. Now I say it's been closed with prejudice, which means that it is literally a dead in the water case. Both parties have signed a declaration, a stipulation of dismissal of the case totally, so it can't be resurrected unless something new comes up, which, knowing Jake Paul in his mouth, something probably will come up. Eddie Hearn says what he's got to say behind the scenes, I dare say. But there was an out-of-court settlement, and they have not mentioned the details of the out-of-court settlement. So I'm assuming that Paul said, look, I'll bung you a few quid. We'll make a shit ton of money with regards to this third Taylor-Serrano fight. Let's make the fight. We'll both make a lot of money. I'll bung you a few quid. And, behind the scenes, they got together and crunched the numbers. And now it's all hunky-dory again. But if I was Jake Paul, I'd be learning from this. Because $100 million was what Matchroom were asking. And even if you allow for the fact that what a claimant asks for isn't necessarily what they're going to get. Nevertheless, that's a big wedge, isn't it? 100 million by anyone's standards. Even Turkey Al Sheikh would go, that's a bit much. But yeah. So that's it. It's all over, and now they can move on to the third Taylor Serrano battle, which is not that far away when you think about it. I mean, we're in April already, so it's only a couple of months and a bit of chump change ahead. And that's that. So what do you think? What do you think of this then? Do you think Jake Paul dodged a bullet here by selling out of court? I think he probably did. But he needs to zip his lip a little bit, just at times, be a little bit more crafty with his wording. Can you imagine if he said that about Frank Warren? You know, there'd be no out-of-court settlement there. Frank would be spending every penny he had, suing him for probably $1 billion. But anyway, leave your comments below if you've got any. And yeah, if you like the video, hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel if you are new. Spread the word about Joe Stunner Boxing. You know the drill. Thank you very much for all your support, and I'll speak to you later. Bye for now.